Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Anambra. Today is Tuesday, the 19th day of November 2024. How time flies. Like I said yesterday, the November is just running like, I don't know how to describe the race it's speaking. All right, my name is Nonye Nwokoye, welcoming you to the show today. I have a colleague today, who is going to co-present with me.
Yeah,
good to have you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anoy, for My name is Obina, and this is another edition of Good Morning Anambra, right here on ABS TV. And it's very important to let you know that today is International Men's Day.
Wow, you're a man. That's why you're saying it.
I don't know what to talk about it, so I'm bringing it up. Yeah, I'm bringing it up so that we talk about it. Today is International Men's Day, because if it was for women...
and we have two men in the studio. All right, let's quickly welcome our guest, Ifechukwu and Jacobs in the studio. Happy Men's Day.
Thank you, the presenter.
Let me borrow a leaf from you.
Yes, you're welcome. I thank God today is Men's Day.
All right, you're welcome.
And I hope our women will celebrate us.
All right, it's price review. And of course, let's bring you some of the national dailies we have. And of course, stories making their headlines on ABS website. You're welcome to the press review this morning. To have you on the press review. Let's begin with stories trending on ABS website.
There are stories trending on the ABS website. We have Soludo receives more commendations for good governance. And we also have man attempts crippling wife with pestle. Anambra government assures victim of justice. We also have Stella Maris Agbodike of St. Lucie Secondary School, Oka, wins 2024 Chinua Achebe essay competition. We also have ACTDA reassures of effective maintenance of government facilities. We also have MDCAN chairman Nwachukwu ask federal government to streamline VC appointment processes. And I think finally we also have Telecom Nigeria orders to reap $10 billion from fifth generation technology.
All right, major stories trending on ABS websites. Let's shoot. Every day you have a lot of stories making their headlines. All right, quickly, Jan Jacobs.
I'm concerned over man attempts crippling wife with pistol. Anambra government assures victim of justice. That is what we call
domestic
violence. It's very, very unfortunate that a husband will raise a gun against somebody.
It's pestle.
That's pestle, sorry. We raise such...
in fact, I watched the video,
such weapon against the wife. He paid dowries upon her head. It's very, very unfortunate and disturbing. What might have come over him to do that?
And I think we need to talk about this because today is Men's Day. It's going to,
no matter the hard time we are facing, people should know how to manage their emotions. They should not let things to overpower them. The situation in the country, the economic activities of the country, we know it's very negative. But you should not pick anger easily against your wife or children or household members. You should control your emotions. You know that this hard time will not last forever. Tough time does not last, but tough will do. You should have a tough skin. Develop mind that God is in control. Because the problem we have now is that people have lost faith in God. If we can go back to God, we will realize that God promises us that we will give us victory over situations. He didn't say that hard time will not come. God never said that hard time will not come. But he promised us victory. And when you have such hope, you will always overcome. But today, many have deserted church. They are going back to idol worship.
Some say going back to their roots.
Which kind of root? Which kind of root? Something that our forefather did, they did not benefit from it.
And so there is need to...
They observe that there is need for a change.
For a change.
And they allowed change that we enjoyed, that brought in good education, good health. And if there is something wrong along the line in the system, we reform it to suit our own time, to our own benefit, but not to go back to dark ages. To go back to a situation where we can...
I'm so happy that it's a man speaking on this particular issue because, when I saw the video of that lady, the leg was bandaged and swollen, and according to the lady, she said that thing happened before the kids. And of course, the kids must be very young because she said they were crying when the whole thing was playing out.
Okay, what kind of impression you are giving? That will be indelible in their mind.
Their hearts.
It has already harmed their emotion and psyche. It's very bad.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's go to the first paper for review this morning. The first paper is the Daily Times newspaper. Let's see stories making their headlines in front of the Daily Times. 252,000 jobs created under housing programs, Dangiwa. A presidency, Obasanjo was not leader worthy of emulation. Okay. Tinubu at G20 summit prioritizes hunger, poverty, eradication. Tinubu's economic reforms have laid foundation for local investments. That's coming from the finance minister. You opposed zoning over Peter Obi, APC chieftain, as replies Wike. Shetima launches innovation drive for indigenous healthcare solution. And Bola assumes duty, says Tinubu will deliver. Right, these are some of the stories making their headlines in front of the Daily Times newspaper. Ifechuku.
Well, I wonder, this job that are claiming they created under housing program, I wonder who and who have benefited from them. Because we know that our job market is oversaturated. And this issue of housing program, we have housing deficit everywhere. Look at the cost of renting a flat in Oka here. It's over $1 million now. Between 800 to 1.2, or even getting to 1.5 million. What kind of federal mortgage bank that's supposed to help to finance these low-cost houses? They're not doing anything. Even if you apply, the bottleneck there will not even allow you to secure the loan on time. So the government should not stop making bogus claims. Let us see the reality on the ground. Not that they created 250 jobs, but we should see it on the ground. In Anambra State here now, how many federal housing estates we have?
I think we have a couple in each
for years during the military regime. In past, from 1999, when we have this Fourth Republic to date, is there any new federal housing estate we have developed in Anambra State? Workers are suffering. They don't have affordable accommodation. They don't have access to good home.
All right, I don't know. Let's look at this story of a reply from the presidency to former President Olusegun Obasanjo. He said that thing. I think after a few days, the reply is coming. Obasanjo was criticizing the present administration, and the reply is just coming today.
Anyway, the issue of this current administration criticizing Obasanjo for making fair comment on the management of affairs of this country is quite unfortunate. They should concentrate on governance instead of joining issue. The Tinubu, when he was campaigning, he promised us to come and bring change, bring hope. He didn't tell us to continue with the woes of the past.
Renewed hope.
Renewed hope. I think what is concerned itself about is how to better the life of Nigerians. Not to talk about who caused the problem. After all, for the past 8 years of Buhari regime, the current president was the leader of APC. And you know what it means to lead a party, which means to pass and parcel of the activity of that party. You participated in policy making. You participated in the issue of governance. But look at the kind of result we got from that 8 years. And he promised us to continue from where Buhari stopped. And he continued. Look at the woes Nigerians are facing. Hunger everywhere. Poverty everywhere. They have weaponized hunger in this country. Look at the past election in the Edo and Ondo. They weaponized hunger. Well, during the election, they continue to share money. They vote buying everywhere. Because people are hungry. And what they needed is what they can use to quench hunger for the moment. What happened next, they don't know. So they should concentrate on governance to better the life of Nigerians.
All right, we move on to the next paper.
The Punch newspaper. On the Punch, we have corruption allegations. Presidency attacks OBJ as opposition backs ex-president. And a kicker to that, we have federal government says Obasanjo lacks moral grounds to attack Tinubu. Opposition insists ex-leader right on corruption and bad governance. All right. Still on the Punch, we have Trump plans to use military for mass deportation, and that's on page 16. Plan takeover, Makinde, Adeleke knock Ganduje over threat, and that's on page 16 of the Punch newspaper. Ondo poll, Ayeditiwa gets certification of return Wednesday amid protests. All right. Still on the Punch, we have Senate invites top doctors over strike. Default, 34 states, federal capital territory, shown 263 billion naira UBEC grants. Luggage delay to attract $170, 10,000 naira fines, according to the NCAA. Federal government plans fresh 31 trillion naira borrowing, and that's on page 35 of the Punch newspaper. 31 trillion naira.
Imagine. We keep on borrowing and borrowing. The ones that have borrowed in the past, what have they used it for?
What did they use it
what is the benefit of those loans in the past?
Federal government,
they kept on borrowing from one country to another, from one organization to another. It's quite unfortunate. They should, they remove first subsidy.
I remember what Peter B said, borrow for production and not for consumption.
But they borrow for consumption, not for production. Okay, we have removed first subsidy, 100%. Is that not true? What the money that accrues from that subsidy is not enough to finance the government.
Some corners are saying that the subsidy is still there, though.
Which kind of subsidy is still there? They told us they removed subsidy, and we believe them. We believe that subsidy have been removed. And if subsidy is not removed, why should we buy for close to 1,500 now? It depends on location. So they should tell the Nigerians the truth. They should stop deceiving themselves. They keep on borrowing and borrowing, which sinking the economy deeper and deeper into woes.
And, when you look at the situation on ground, you think, we are coming out of it sooner than we think. But look at the Senate's invitation to top doctors in the country. I was in the hospital, in a federal hospital last 2 weeks with my daughter. That was when I noticed that they were on strike. And up till now, they're still on strike.
To show the kind of leadership we have that are not concerned about welfare of workers. Look at the issue of minimum wage. They say 70,000. And they are not doing anything to better the lot of the economy so that 70,000 will be meaningful. A bag of rice now, the cheapest one in the market is over 80,000. Cheapest local rice. A bag of local rice, cheapest one, is over 80,000. And the minimum wage of a worker is 70,000. Even some states are yet to pay that minimum wage. Some refuse to pay. Even the special adjustment, they could not do it.
But if they should tell themselves the truth, or if all of us should tell ourselves the truth, you know, there are people that never benefited from 30,000 naira minimum wage, and nothing is being said about that till date.
Well, that one I will regard it as the past. Let us focus on the future, because you can't go back.
But you know why I said it. The 70,000 naira they are paying, they've removed 30,000 and they are paying 40,000. Are you getting me?
What?
That is the truth. That is why I brought it up. It's never passed.
They can never.
So people that did not get 30,000 are just getting 40 and not 70.
No, that should not happen. The labor union of that particular state should rise up and challenge the authority that be. Leadership or labor should not compromise interests of their members by playing a game with the leadership, with the government. Because most of the time, I blame labor leaders. Because once they compromise their stand, they are compromised interests of their members.
Must our leaders wait for labors before they do what is
right?
No,
definitely you know that they play politics in Nigeria with almost everything. Once they will have their way, they doesn't mind the kind of image is given to them. What they want is that immediate gain. They don't think about tomorrow, about the future. If our leaders think about posterity, certain investment they are making, they will not make it. When you look at some of the investments, some of projects they back up, you discover that they just want to make immediate gain. There are certain investments they will make, you know that this man or this person is interested in the posterity in future. Because he might not benefit from that investment, but you have the long, at the end of the day,
to the benefit of
the benefit of the nation, and the people will be better off with it. Okay. But look at it.
Let's run the Vanguard newspaper. Let's see stories from the Vanguard newspaper. LCCI has born analysts, others pick holes in 2025 budget. We have writers there. It will take magic wand to succeed. Asbon. Funding will be a challenge, financial analysts. Now, Zenith Bank unveils Zenith Tech Fair 4.0. Ondo Guba, why PDP lost recorded worst outing since 1999. Presidency to Obasanjo, Nigeria's economic woes began in your government. Presidential spokesman Daniel Bwala, WW3 looms as Russia vows response if Ukraine uses long-range missiles. Sports, 2025 AFCON qualifiers, Rwanda beats Super Eagles in Uyo. Still from the Vanguard, we have a Dangote refinery seek billions of dollars to import crude. Sit at home. Gunmen kill 5 security operatives. PG critically injured in Anambra, Abia. Nigeria must address 6% tax to GDP ratio. Speaker Abbas speaking. And they also have rethink reform strategies. IMF advises Nigeria, Ghana, others. All right, these are some of the stories.
Well, I would like to talk on an issue that concerns us. This issue of killings in Anambra State. Killing our men, security, the vigilante men. It's unfortunate. This issue, I think that our governor told us some time ago that issue of state atomy is over. I said it one time, that security of the community should look into. If our communities are secured properly, people will go about their, this is, okay, look at, this is the concern we have raised over these issues of security. Because once people are being, like now, they killed this man yesterday. Tomorrow or the next day, we will expect people to be in the market elsewhere on Mondays because of insecurity. So government should look into the security of our communities. Now, I heard the other time that IG banned vigilante and said that police will now start to recruit and train. They should not give lip service to issue of community watch. They should do everything possible to strengthen our internal security. This the issue of vigilante, you know, they just recruited young men, give them pump action without proper training. It's not what we needed now. Because even these security men were well trained and equipped. I don't think they will kill them just like that. They would have replied and gave them or had even they have disable number. Once that attack, other people elsewhere will come. I don't think those men will go or will just go like that. There will be a serious, once there's an attempt to stop it, they could not succeed. Tomorrow they will be afraid to come. That is the basic truth. But once they come and strike and succeeded in their strike, tomorrow they will have the courage to come again. So the government should look into the community neighborhood watch. If possible, let the issue of state police be given attention. Let government recruit men and women and place them on salary as other security men, equip them properly. Give them the kind of gun the opponents are using. Train them and make sure that they are men and women of integrity in their society, in their areas, and knows the terrain. I don't think the issue of attacking people just like that will continue.
All right, let's look at presidency to Obasanjo. Nigeria's economic woes began in your government.
Well, that is what I will say on that is that Tinubu have accepted failure by attacking Obasanjo over fair comment, which means what's to show that he's confused on what to do again by going back to past instead of somebody we are giving him mandate. As the election declared him winner. The INEC declared him winner of the election, and the leader of the country has been sworn in. He should focus on government. I said it earlier, and I'm repeating it. He should stop issue of attacking whoever that. If people do not criticize him, how will we know his weakness? He should look into areas.
That means criticism is part of it as well.
Yes, now the government. If we are not criticized, how will you make a positive change? People that are around will criticize you, make you to sit up. Now that Nigerians are suffering, people are commenting. The policies of the government is even killing Nigerians more than diseases is doing now. Because hunger everywhere. People die of heart attack because they are worried of what to eat next day, or how to pay the school fees of their children, how to pay house rent.
And there's nothing that breaks a man's heart
like
than
that.
to watch the children,
crying without food,
without doing anything.
Before you know it, he will pass on. So he should accept the challenge.
Okay.
Sit up, go to work, look into the economy and know the areas he should plug the loopholes and stop all the leakages. All
right, let's run. The Daily Independent newspaper is next in our line of Let's See Stories from the Daily Independent.
The Daily Independent will have presidency replies of Obasanjo says he lacks leadership qualities.
A lot of words coming up.
Yeah, presided over Nigeria's most fraudulent election. Tinubu's official spokesman says Boala vows not to give energy to critics over his appointment. That's on page 7 of the Daily Independent. G20 leaders inaugurate global alliance to end hunger. We also have federal government commits to new innovation to drive indigenous healthcare solutions. And IMASA, police, others oppose Marine Corps establishment. Proposed tax bills not targeted at any region, says Oyedele. We've not taken any position on tax bills. Reps, this one, Rep Speaker. Northern lawmakers to prioritize national interests. This is coming from Dogua. Blocked funds rise to $1.662 billion worldwide. This is coming from IATA, and that's on page 6 of the Daily Independent. We also have the federal government to stop varsity from producing graduates without technical skills. The NCCA, delayed luggage. The NCCA goes tough on airlines, imposes $170, 10,000 naira sanctions as 19,274 passengers' luggage delayed, missing in the first half of 2024.
Well, On the issue of that Obasanjo leadership failed Nigeria, if you compare the period of Obasanjo's administration and now, under Obasanjo, we bought a bag of rice less than 6,000. Naira exchange isn't it about 100 and something naira per dollar? And when you compare, Nigerians were better off under him. Even Jonathan, Jonathan that took over for him. Jonathan wanted to reform petroleum industry to make it better, to reposition it for better performance.
You know, but I don't know whether you've gone through the way Nigeria, inflation in Nigeria has been over the years, and you notice that things never go back to what it used to be, or even better than what it used to be. But rather we've experienced, it keeps getting worse. I think except during the Yar'Adua's time,
yes.
You know, and with the rate or the level, the thing has been more than 200%. Do you think we're going to, you know, anything could be done concerning this situation at hand? You know,
even the current president was among people that led protests against Jonathan reform regime that he wanted to remove subsidy then, so that petroleum cost of petroleum will be 114 naira, and they will build refineries in geopolitical zones, and the rest of them he proposed to reposition oil industry so that Nigerians will benefit from it. But they protested. Even under APC, he was the leader. During the campaign of Buhari, he promised us that he will return petroleum price to 45 naira per litre. But today, look at where we are. So they should not, this blame game, they should stop it. They should go to work. They ask us to elect them, to bring hope and change. We are expecting that change for him.
All right, let's run. Our time is fast running. We take two papers now at a time. We take This Day and The Guardian. Let's begin with This Day and see stories coming from This Day. Governors threatening the U.S. over Tinubu's tax reform bills, House members allege, with right there, Oyedele, no region is targeted in tax reforms. Presidency Obasanjo, not ideal leader to emulate and fit to speak on good governance, accuses his government of brazen illegality, assault on constitution through illegal removal of governors, says he made poor choices in economic management which burdened the successive governments, and of course maintains the organized sham elections in 2003 are judged the worst in nation's history. Still on This Day, LCCI parameters assumptions for 2025 proposed budget over ambitious, fragile. That's with the right of the June, Tinubu working to lift Nigerians out of poverty. And you can see strengthening security operations in Delta. All right, quickly, the Guardian newspaper is next in the lineup. On the Guardian, we have 34 states ditch UBA e-grants as unused funds surpass 135 billion naira. Still on the Guardian, we have chemical industry says 28 companies exited since January. Federal Inland Revenue Service boss makes case for tax bills as FG comes governors on reform. We have Senate to sanction MDAs for non-compliance with financial regulations. Presidency berates Obasanjo for criticizing successors. Rivers Council boss predicts tough battle for Fubara ahead of 2027 elections. Ayedatiwa's financial strength earned him victory in Ondo. You know, politicians always speaking about the next election instead of the problem of the masses. Look at what somebody is saying. You know, talking about 2027 election in Rivers State, when Rivers is already in crisis, are there anything being done at present to see that the current crisis in Rivers is brought to an end? From
the situation of things so far, unless there is something on the ground they're doing. But to the public notice.
Shouldn't that be the issue to be discussed, discussing, rather than bringing up 2027 election?
You know, politicians, selfish interest. Yeah. They have selfish interest. They don't think about this issue they are raising now, issue of 2027, for selfish interest. And how to go back to power and continue to enrich themselves. They are not thinking about the good of the people around. If they are thinking about the good, Nigeria is supposed not to be in this mess. We have enough that can go around. People will be happy. Even to take care of our neighboring countries.
All right, quickly, the next paper, please, for time.
All right,
the Daily Trust.
We have the Daily Trust. And on the Daily Trust, we have Northern Reps raise fresh concerns over tax reform bills. And the kickers to that, we have Say Region plagued by insecurity, low productivity. It's unfair for Lagos Rivers FCT to have 70% VAT proceeds. FIRS boss will be guided by national interests. This is coming from Dogua. G20 leaders in a great global alliance to end hunger. The general uncovers 3.4 trillion naira fraud in MDAs. Court quashes NBC's fines against Trust TV. Limits commission's power. You're hypocrite. Presidency fires back at Obasanjo. Fire destroys Jos Laranto Market. We see this during the Ember period, to the end of the year. See fire,
gutting companies and markets.
That's quite unfortunate. NERC to discos replace old meters at low cost. Trump to use military for mass deportation. And quickly on the Nigerian Tribune, we have panel sheds more light on tax reform bills, proposes 0% VAT on food, education, healthcare. And we have 5 dead at sit-at-home turns bloody in Anambra. Police after suspected gunmen. Adeleke, Oyo PDP knock Ganduje over IPC's plot to take over Oyo Osun. And that's on page 16 and 28 of the Nigeria Tribune. Ganduje suffering from verbal diarrhea. That's coming from Osun government. Nobody prays for APC's pain beyond 2027. This is coming from the Oyo PDP. Air Force destroys bandits, kingpins, residents, arms depot in Shiroro. Council of
all right, for want of time, we move to the next paper. Let's look at the last paper before we summarize, and time is fast spent. On Blueprint, we have presidency to Obasanjo. You run Nigeria with impunity, not ideal leader to emulate. To ride there, Obasanjo, Ohanes, the Arewa Group, others tackle ex-president. And also on the Blueprint, we have tax reform bills will be thorough, guided by national interest. Abbas Dugua speaking. AUGF reports Senate probes MDA's over 105.66 billion naira financial infractions, vows not to compromise legislative compliance. Super Eagles qualify despite fall to Rwanda. And of course, national value is vital to boosting police image. And Zenith Bank holds the 4th edition of annual tech fair in Lagos. All right, that's the much we have on the
Well, the issue of Northern Reps raised fresh concerns over tax reform bill. And this issue of VAT, they should know that it's just like sales tax.
What?
This VAT replaces sales tax. That's why we don't talk about sales tax in the states. It's supposed to be issue that the state that collect the VAT is supposed to keep the VAT and pay some percentage. It's not even the federal government supposed to collect VAT. It's supposed to be collected by the states. But now they made it that the federal revenue should collect. The sharing should be more to the states that collect. The percentage should go more to the amount you collected. Not according to the population, but according to generation. But the way they were sharing it before now is according to the population, not the generation. And by the time most of the states they know that doesn't contribute much to VAT will take more. And those that generate much will take less. Is it not injustice?
All right, we can go on and on with so many issues on the Nigerian dailies this morning, but this is the much you can take on press review for this morning. We'd like to thank you so much, Barrister Ifechukwu Dan Jacobs, for being here this morning. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, the presenters, viewers. Thank you for giving us your time.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on today's edition of the press review right here on Good Morning Anambra. My name is Obina.
And my name is Nonye. We have more coming up on Good Morning Anambra show. To stay.